Hey, welcome back to Beard Squared. In this video, we're going to be problem solving using quadratic equations. Many problems expressed in words and geometric applications using the right angle triangle can be described in algebra using quadratic equations. In this video, we're going to explore 6 easy steps to solve word problems using quadratic equations. Coming up. Okay, so we're exploring a question and it says the sum of a number and its square is 42, find the number. Now, step 1, what we're going to do is we're going to carefully read the question until we understand what it actually wants us to do. So what I understand from this question is that we have an unknown, and if we add it, i.e. the sum, to the square of that number, the unknown, then it should equal to 42. Now for step 2, from our 6 steps, I'm going to decide on what to call the unknown, and in step 3 I'm going to construct an equation. So just for argument's sake, I'm going to call our unknown x, so x can represent the box. And to finish off the equation then, I'm going to say x plus x squared is equal to 42. Okay, in step 4, what I want to do is I want to solve the equation using factorizing and then the null factor law. Now I'll link to a video in the cards above and the description below to what the null factor law is, and so you can check that out if you're not familiar with that. Otherwise, we'll continue with rearranging our formula in standard form. So really what I want to do is I want to do ax squared plus bx plus c, and that's equal to 0 because we're going to be using the null factor law. Okay, so let's carry on with step 4. I'm going to move the x squared to the front and I'm going to move 42 to the left-hand side. Now, in order for me to move 42 to the left-hand side, I'm going to use inverse operations. So that becomes negative 42. And of course, I'm equaling this to 0 because I'm going to be using the null factor. Now, in order to solve this quadratic equation, I'm going to be using the product sum. Now, what the product sum refers to is I want 2 factors that give me a product, a multiplication of minus 42, and that give me a sum, an addition of 1, positive 1, because the coefficient of x in this case is 1. Now to solve this, I need to find the factors of negative 42. So think about this for a while, pause the video here and see if you can find 2 factors of negative 42 that give you a product of negative 42 and a sum of 1, positive 1. Okay, so you should have 2 factors that are going to be 6 and 7. And in particular, we want a positive 7 and a negative 6. So we can check that this works by doing minus 6 times 7, which gives us minus 42. And then minus 6 plus 7, which gives us 1. So those both check out. So in my factored form, I can write x plus 7 and x minus 6. Again, if you're not following this and you don't know how to factorize a quadratic, then check out the video in the link in the description. And I'll put it up here in the cards where you can check out how to factorize a quadratic. Otherwise, generally speaking, we're using the product sum to solve this quadratic form. Okay, so now we need to do the null factor. We need to find out if x plus 7 is equal to 0 and if x minus 6 is equal to 0, what the solutions would be. So I've done x plus 7 equals 0 or x minus 6 equals 0. And if I rearrange these, then I've got x is equal to negative 7, or I will get x is equal to 6. So they're my 2 solutions that could possibly work now. So in step 5, what I need to do is I need to check that the solutions actually satisfy the original problem. So recall that my original problem was a number plus the square of that number was equal to 42. So if I try the first of our solutions, minus 7 plus minus 7 squared should equal to 42. So let's do the math on that. Minus 7 plus 49 equals to 42. And now if we minus 7 for 49, we're going to get 42 is equal to 42. So the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side, and that checks out well. Okay, let's look at our second solution, which was 6. So 6 plus 6 squared should give us 42. 6 plus 36 gives us 42. So 42 is equal to 42. The left-hand side and the right-hand side are equal, so that checks out well. Now the last step, step 6, is to write your answer in sentence form. So because this is a word problem, we want to respond by writing a sentence. So pause the video here and see if you can come up with a sentence that you would like to write, and then press play when you're ready to check out the answer. Okay, so this is what I wrote. I wrote the sum of 6 or minus 7 and its square is equal to 42. Okay, so you can go back and rewind. What I want you to do is I want you to become familiar with those 6 steps, and I want you to try to solve this question here. So when a number is subtracted from its square, the result is 56. Find the numbers. As always, thanks for watching. If you found the video helpful, then drop me a like. Make sure you share it with a friend. And if you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. Now, I've spoken about the product sum. So if you have any questions about the product sum when solving quadratic equations, make sure you watch the video, and I'll put it in the link in the description below to a playlist where you can check out solving other questions with quadratic equations. Consider subscribing for more math videos, and I'll see you in the next one.